Hi, what is the most important quality for an investor? Warren Buffett says it's temperament. It's a fairly fuzzy word, meaning don't act on emotions. So let me provide my own choice of the most important quality. I think it's conviction. But what is conviction? It is the ironclad knowledge that you are right and everyone else is wrong, no matter what they say or how loudly they say it. Now, mind, conviction is not opinion. It is based on facts you dug out yourself, physical facts, not blips on the screen that anyone can say. If you have such conviction, and if it is correct, you can buy multi-baggers when they are still puppies, even if everyone else says you are an idiot. Especially then, because then they'll sell it to you for peanuts. But how do you get this magic quality? Again, conviction is not, repeat, not opinion. Opinions cost you nothing. Conviction cost is not, repeat, not free. It costs you. The only way I know to get conviction is to investigate physical facts before they became blips on the screen. Why does it work? Because 99% of investors are lazy bones who sit in front of the screen and get all their information from it, like most of you. But why are screen blips not real information? Because most blips are put there by those who want to convince you to buy high and sell low. That's how top Wall Street players pay their mortgage. They are expert in making you believe wrong things, and I pay by the wrong things management. How you pay your own mortgage is not their concern. But you may say, surely there are among these 99% lazy bones some very smart people. How come they too get conned? So let me tell you an actual story. In my Stanford MBA class many years ago, in one of the OB classes, that's organization behavior, we were divided into a group of 6 or 7 people each and given a task. The task was compare 2 lines on 2 different sheets of paper and tell which was the longest. 1 line per sheet. Discussion was allowed and there was consensus until there was consensus, but you were not allowed to put the 2 sheets side by side. The purpose, we were told, was to teach us group decision making and train our power of observation, both of which were bullshit, but I'll get to that. At the beginning, it was easy. The lines were fairly different in length, but then the lines began to be fairly close to each other, and so there was disputes. But usually there was consensus. Finally came 2 sheets with lines different in length. However, all group members except one insisted that the somewhat shorter line was longer. Only one member in the group said it was the other way around, and he or she was right. However, all others insisted, even castigated the holdover for bad eyesight. What do you think happened? In 90% of the cases, the holdover changed his or her opinion, acting against the evidence of his or her eyes. How come? Well, what he didn't know was that all other members of the team have been stooges. The purpose of the exercise was not to train us in observation, but to prove to us the effects of group pressure to accept lies and falsity. Almost all of us fell for it. Only very few holdovers kept a correct view. What was common to all of them? Almost all of those did one thing different. They folded the 2 sheets and put the 2 lines one against the other, side by side, which was against the rules. Did the others look at this and change their opinion? No, they refused. They were just following the rules, they said. Instead, they kept insisting the holdover eyesight was bad. But those who stuck to the dictated rules succumbed to group pressure against the evidence of their own eyes. Now remember, before you say the word strength of character, these were students at the Stanford GSB, the Graduate School of Business, the top in the US, or well above average in intelligence, who in those days were admitted at the rate of 1 out of 12 of 13 applicants. All had strong character and many accomplishments proving it. Weak-willed pussies, they certainly were not, yet nearly all submitted to group pressure. Which ones didn't? Only those who disobeyed the rules and insisted on looking at physical evidence. This gave them conviction. Later, after the shock subsided, the professor summed up the 3 things we learned. The first thing, all of us, no matter how smart, are at risk to change our opinion due to group pressure. We all underestimate this pressure. It involves mockery, shaming, shunning, even punishment. How prevalent are these punishments? Almost universally so. Why? Because in life, pressuring suckers to accept lies and falsehood is profitable for those who apply the pressure. They are usually well paid for it. Especially today, when nearly all information is provided by the internet, such pressure is easy and profitable to the liars. Very profitable. Most advertising is based on it, not all, but most. So is stock brokerage. Again, not all, but most of it. Much of pharma. And so, yes, often are some elections. The second thing we learned is to stand up to such group pressure, you must reject the rules the group puts on you. Certainly don't break the law, but within the law, you can and should break the rules that say you have to gather information only in a certain prescribed way, from blips on screen and ink on paper. Which brings us to the third thing we learned. You must change your mode of information gathering from accepting free information handed to you to physical information you create and generate yourself with actual work, your work, not on the screen, but outside the office, physically. That's what creates conviction that makes you money. Rule breaking and exclusive physical information gathering are the only factors that help some pressured suckers to discard the group-imposed opinion and generate the right conviction themselves. And how does this apply to the market? Obviously like this. The market, which really is nothing more than blips on the internet screen, will do its damnedest to convince you that XYZ Corporation at 25 times sales and negative cash flow is a raging buy, or that ABC Company is a sell even though it makes tons of cash flow and is selling at one-time EBITDA, like Argentinian stocks 3 or 4 years ago. Now, who are those information suppliers? Why, advertisers and Wall Street and Bay Street and corporate PR flags, all of whom, for pay, keep telling you that the only information you should base your buy and sell on is on the internet, the kind they provide for free. If you disagree, they call you a kook or an idiot or a sucker or tinfoil hat guy. If you succumb to such blandishment, they'll take your money. But if you do sleuthing research yourself physically, going to the physical source of the information, you can take their money. But go how? Read my books, The Sleuth Investor and The Advanced Sleuth Investor, and see. But here are a few tips. Never, ever buy a company stock before you talk to at least 3 of the company's customers and ask them why they bought the company product and what they think of it. Why 3? Because customers come in 3 varieties: the user of the product, the vetter of the purchase, and the payer. See this in my book. All 3 must be in agreement for sales to take place. And if the vetter takes too long to approve the purchase, the selling company may run out of money by the time he decides. Is all this new to you? You may be astonished, or maybe not, to learn that it is also new to many in Wall Street and Bay Street. Indeed, one of the best ways to embarrass a Wall Street or Bay Street analyst is to ask him or her which of the company's clients he or she had talked to about the product and when. Not IBM client or Safeway or Apple or any other corporate client. You want the name of the actual person in the customer organization who bought the product, who uses it, the one who approves it, and the one who pays for it. In details, who, when, why, and where. The dirty secret of stock research is that most analysts haven't talked to any real customers of the companies behind the stocks they analyze, to the real physical human being who made the buy decisions. They only do spreadsheets after talking to the CFO and the corporate PR flag and regurgitate their words. I know. I used to manage analysts on Bay Street in 3 different companies. Or, one step further, ask the analysts which of the company's suppliers they have talked to, or to the company's competitors, again, to the actual people there. Or to make it even more fun, ask your favorite stock tipper on YouTube or Twitter the same questions. See how embarrassed they are. To sum up, sleuthing is a different way of looking at the commercial world. That is, looking at it physically, not at its traces on the screen and on paper. The real stuff. If you do that, the world is your oyster, because then you can develop a conviction that the entire market would lack. Now, how many of you will actually do it? How many of you will turn off the internet and call a company's customer suppliers? My guess is 2 or 3 out of 100, but this will take the money of the other 98. That's all for today. Please let me know below what you think of the above. Give it a like, subscribe to the channel, then retweet to all your friends of subscribers and followers so they subscribe too, and buy my books, The Sleuth Investor, The Advanced Sleuth Investor, and give them a review on Amazon, which I hope will be a good one. I'll see you next time. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching.